Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Get Right with DigiByte. My name's Mike, and it's another fantastic day on the DigiByte blockchain. And I'm really excited for today's guest. With us today is JIN VISE. JIN is the partnership manager for ChangeAngel. ChangeAngel is a cryptocurrency swap and exchange which provides users access to dozens of digital assets, including DigiByte. JIN, thank you so much for joining us on Get Right with DigiByte. How are you doing today?
I am doing great, Mike, and thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. We've got so many things to get into today. But before we begin, could you spend a few minutes tell us a little bit about how you first got involved with cryptocurrency and when did you discover DigiByte?
Oh, yeah. So it was back in 2016 when one of my friends, actually a co-worker of mine at the job that I was working at that time, introduced me to cryptocurrency, and I dabbled a little bit. I didn't buy Bitcoin at first. It was just Litecoin. And I didn't make that decision until somewhere around the mid of 2017. And since then, it has been a very good experience. And then towards the end of 2017, that's when I discovered DigiByte, and I liked it. I saw that the fundamentals were great, the community was great. I mean, it's amazing, and still is amazing. It was amazing then, and then I slowly got involved in DigiByte, and the rest is history, pretty much. And then
Uh,
with DigiByte, eventually joined the DigiByte awareness team as a co-member.
yeah, I remember those days, and yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. But first,
Mm.
I guess the big news with ChangeAngel is a new program. Well, a couple of them really. One is the cashback program that you guys have recently launched, and also the Sharing is Caring affiliate program. So let's start first with the cashback program. Tell us a little bit more about how that works and what advantages it offers to the users.
Yeah, so it's a very simple cashback program, just like we would have a credit card cashback program where you buy something and then you get something back. The same way when you're exchanging one digital asset to another one, let's say Bitcoin to DigiByte or Litecoin, you can earn your cash back either in Litecoin, in DigiByte, or TFUL. TFUL is in the Theta network. You can register for it, and then when you I'll give an example. If you exchange Bitcoin to DigiByte, you will actually see how much you can earn for that particular transaction in the swap box itself. You can see that, and then you'll have an approximate amount, and then you can go ahead with the transaction. Then at the back end, there's a dashboard that you can see how much you earn, and it all adds up. And as soon as you reach a minimum of 1,500 digibyte, as long as you reach a minimum of 1,500, you can request a withdrawal. You can whitelist your address and then request a withdrawal to take it to your wallet. It's as simple as that, right? We wanted to, if I to explain a little bit more, we chose DigiByte, Litecoin, and TFUL because they are real assets with real liquidity in different exchanges. Instead of us making our own token and adding to that 8,000 plus tokens already in there that does not have any value, we thought we'll give the community some value. And that's why we stuck with the DigiByte, Litecoin, and TFUL, because they have value and there's real world use cases for that. And there's ready market for it as well.
Yeah, that's a great point you just made because, yeah, a lot of these exchanges, they have their own coins and, yeah, sure, there's value to that coin when you're on the exchange or, some other exchanges will exchange other exchanges coins. But, beyond that exchange, what utility does it have? And that's kind of like the whole point of, a lot of these digital assets is to use it and to use it in any way that you want and not really be pigeonholed within a certain platform to use that coin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So and you guys you have a new Sharing is Caring affiliate program which is a little different than what you had before. Am I understanding that correctly?
It's pretty much the same, but with a few tweaks as well.
Okay.
Uh, Essentially, what it is sharing of revenue, right? So we give you a affiliate link. You can promote it anywhere you want. Put it in your videos, your social media, your websites, your blogs, and drive traffic leads to us. And through that, whenever we get a user, a customer through your affiliate link that we provide, and uh, they do an exchange, and there's a certain amount of revenue that's derived from that, and you earn a percentage of it, which is like 50% of it that you earn. And yeah, so that is where the sharing is caring. Yeah, we share the revenue and we care about you. So that's where the sharing is caring. The program came about. It's very easy to sign up. There's a link. You can go through the terms and conditions, and then sign up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. I mean, it's always great to give back, especially to the users, and when people can uh, refer a service to a
Hmm.
friend or a family member. Yeah, that's true organic growth, and it's really authentic. And I know it builds
Yeah.
longstanding foundations within the business and within the community. So it's a great thing that you guys are doing that. You guys were essentially born from the DigiByte awareness team, and there's just such a close connection between the DigiByte community and what ChangeAngel is doing. So if you could spend a little time and tell us, what was the inspiration for yourself and other members of the DigiByte awareness team that you got together and you decided, well, let's build something out of this that can really contribute not only to DigiByte but also to the cryptocurrency industry as a whole.
Yeah, that's the contributing is what inspired us. uh, the reason is with all the open source projects, volunteer run projects, funding is the most important thing to
Mhm.
carry on with the project. um, Very early on we found that DigiByte lacked funding, and that's when we decided to do something. I know Rudy Bowman, he formed the DigiByte team with Dean and Andy and some of the other, and Frederick as well. And the whole idea was to market DigiByte, and then get DigiByte listed on exchanges. And to do all that, we needed money, especially for the development of the blockchain itself. So we relied on donations. Donations were great. The community was great, but we needed something more. And then, of course, uh, a few of us suggested, Dean, myself, Ben, Divyam. We decided, okay, let's start exchange and see we can still get some revenue, and then contribute and donate to DigiByte as well. And we did that. It was successful. Then came the other projects saying, hey, we like your platform as well, right? We're also open source. Why don't we join hands and do this as well? And then, yeah, then slowly all those open source projects came about. To this date, we have great relationship with those projects as well. And then added some other projects, and that's where we are right now. And carrying on business as at the same time contributing to the projects as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You brought up two excellent points that I really feel that really need to be really pressed. Is that you guys you literally give back to these open source projects, to their development funds. I don't know if it's something you guys do, if it's monthly or quarterly, but I mean, I see the tweets and you guys are like, hey, we just gave X amount of DigiByte back to the DigiByte Foundation or the DigiByte Awareness Team to their development funds. And uh, I think you guys were probably like one of the first to do this, and it's not a common thing. I mean, I don't know really any other exchanges that
it,
do that.
it is
There might be.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
not common. We do whenever we can, and it's regular. It's not it's in irregular intervals, I would say.
okay.
But we give, and if there is a event that comes up, like if it's for liquidity or you know, um, uh, for a specific development of a specific feature of the blockchain of DigiByte. Um, People reach out to us, and then we donate, right, of a
Yeah.
certain to make that goal. Yeah, so it's irregular intervals that we donate, as well as when there's a specific need as well, we donate as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great that you guys do that, and thank you. As obviously as a fan of DigiByte, having an organization such as yourself that actively and regularly donates back to the open source and volunteer developers of the blockchain is a great thing. And the other point you mentioned just a minute ago too, which I think is additionally equally as important, are the relationships that you're building with these other projects. Because a lot of times we kind of get we get kind of stuck in our own little silo with the blinders and think like, oh well, my blockchain is the best, or and but you guys have really, it's like you've been building bridges with all these other communities, uh and that level of cooperation, I think it generates a lot of goodwill between these communities. Lift each other up and have each other's backs, and it's created just a really conducive environment for that, what you guys are doing over at ChangeAngel.
Thanks. Yeah, we definitely we try to build bridges. We try to build relationships. I mean, relationships kind of drive the whole community. No relationships means everyone is kind of competing with each other and talking bad of each other, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few things that we have learned is community building. That's one, and building relationships. Those are the most primary drivers for us, and the rest they fall into place.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And, as representatives of DigiByte, of course it's open source. There's no like
Mhm.
official titles with, people who promote DigiByte, but, you're members of the DigiByte awareness team, and you're out there promoting DigiByte. And I think it just, it adds, a lot of, air of legitimacy, and also just, goodwill between all these projects.
Oh yeah,
So,
sure.
I'm curious, when you guys first started out, you launched in, I want to say it was early 2019, correct?
Yeah, March 1st of 2019, but it
Okay,
was in development for 6 months before that.
sure. Okay, 6 months. So yeah,
Yeah.
during that time, I'm just curious, what was like the greatest challenge that you guys were faced during that time of development and for launch?
The greatest challenge was the question was, will this work? Right? We had everything in place. The technology was there, everything was there. Like, will this work? Of course, an amount of investment went into that as well. And but we said, like, hey, why not just we're going to take the risk. Let's take the risk and launch. And then that old saying that says you open it and people will come.
Mhm.
That exactly happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy and convenient. I mean, it's like on your website, it says 3 steps, and that's really all it is. It's just, and I like the fact that it's non-custodial, which is very important, especially in these days. So,
Mhm.
it's been really great to use it, and it's great that you guys have had all the success that you've had. It's definitely earned. And I was also curious. I know when you guys started, it was probably about, I don't know what, about 2 dozen different coins that you guys offered, and now it's like, I mean, how many, like ballpark
We have
figure?
about 100 plus right now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So what, is that just, do you guys seek out other projects, or you mentioned before other projects have contacted you? What is the, I guess the listing process, if you will, for some of these other projects out
Yeah,
there?
the listing process is quite simple. A project can contact us, and then from there, we do some research, and then we make a decision if we want to list it or not. And most of the time, projects are legit, right? And they have a lot of liquidity. Of course, our custodian providers or exchange providers also should be, have those coins as well. And some we cannot list because one thing is there is no proper, I would say, I mean, I go to the project, I see the websites, right? It's not properly made. You know that there's something kind of iffy about those projects. So those we politely decline. And sometimes we also reach projects that we like, and we are like, for example, if I'm invested in a coin and that coin is not listed in ChangeAngel, and I like that coin, I'll approach them and say, hey, I'm from ChangeAngel, let's talk, right? It all starts with just sending us a message through our contact system, and we'll take it from there. That's the process. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of coins that I have in addition to DigiByte, I've obtained through your website and through your service, and it's really my go-to exchange. When I there's a coin out there, I'm like, oh, let me dabble into that. I check your site first and see if you guys have it, because, like I said, it's such a streamlined process. It's so fast and so convenient, and it's just really intuitive, and especially for beginners, I think that's a key feature as well. A lot of times, I know, for example, for myself, when I first bought DigiByte off of Bittrex, I had no idea what I was even looking at, really. I just, I'm not a trader, and so it was kind of a scary process and very intimidating.
Thank you. Yeah.
But a service site like yours, it's really straightforward and really simple for people to use. Um, I know you guys, when you launched, your slogan was the crypto swap. I'm messing this up. For social good.
Yeah.
Did I get that right or close?
Yeah. Swap exchange for social good.
So, okay. Thank you. My apologies for that. My point is, in addition to giving back to a lot of these open source projects, to their development funds, you guys are also, very active with, giving back to charities and projects that are, providing services for people who are less fortunate. So can you talk a little bit more about some of the projects you guys have worked on in the past, and what are the impact that you've had on those charities?
Yeah, some of the projects were like nonprofits that we work with, who work with some of the countries where they require, water, for example, like ready access to water. We built a kind of a water well and a water faucet system, a community well in Bangladesh. It's in our Twitter as well. It's one of the pinned tweets over there. It was successful. People, obviously providing water is one of the greatest things that anyone could do. Yeah.
Pretty important.
Yeah, it's pretty important. That's a life force. So that's one. And then we worked with several others as well. Actually, we worked with a lot. I don't have a list of it with me right now, but one was an educational foundation that we donated to. They worked quite well, and a few others as well. But the main thing was that water project and that really stuck to me because we actually provided something. We saw the pictures of them actually taking water into containers, right? And that made me really happy.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it's kudos to you guys for doing that, because a lot of times, in our industry, it's there's the greedy side of it really is kind of what people notice, and it's like, oh, win Moon, win Lambo, but it's more than that. Of course, it's about elevating humanity to a level higher than what we've kind of been stuck in with these last few decades, or even, I mean, how far back do you want to go? I know you guys are always innovating and adding new services. We already talked about the Sharing is Caring affiliate program, and also the cashback. Are there some things that you guys are working on, that are in the pipeline, that maybe you can kind of give us a few hints, or a few teaser about what we can come to expect coming up for the rest of the year at ChangeAngel?
Yeah, so we're actually done. We have developed and done, finished with a decentralized mobile wallet, right? It's a multi-coin and multi-chain wallet with some unique features. Yes, it will have DigiByte, and it does have DigiByte. I was testing it the other day as well. For the rest, I'll wait till it's launched. So right now it's kind of a, that's what we're doing right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you guys are working on a decentralized wallet, which of course is very important. This is a wallet where the user holds the private keys to that wallet,
Yes.
correct? Okay,
Yes.
but it's
So
a
you,
multi-currency wallet. You said,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really excited to see how that turns out, and can't wait to use it.
Yeah. So the whole point of this a decentralized wallet is a non-custodial decentralized wallet is pretty much it's like this. Mainly a non-custodial wallet.
Mhm.
You hold the keys. If you lose the device that you have your wallet in, you can recover it somewhere else. It's very easy, right?
Yeah.
So you control everything. It's yours. It's your bank. You control
Mhm.
it. And other than that, we also have NFTs. We will have NFTs in multiple chains.
Oh,
And yeah, wallet connect that will connect to different decentralized exchanges and things like that. So
well, that's really neat. I'm really excited to see how that looks. And you mentioned NFTs. Of course, DigiByte has its own NFT platform known as DigiAssets, and ChangeAngel is a partner with
the-
DigiAsset X. Is that
yeah,
correct?
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. I know that there was Matthew, who runs DigiAsset X, recently launched. I say recently. I mean it's probably about what 9 months ago, within the past year. The point is, it's fantastic that it exists. I was a huge fan of DigiAssets early on, and really enjoyed creating them and also sharing them. But there were some limitations uh, for how DigiAssets itself worked, and then also with the wallets. And to have someone like Matthew, who's obviously a very skilled and talented developer, to come in and elevate DigiAssets to a point where it can be what it is great. And I love what you guys are doing over there at DigiAsset X. And in fact, I was on a Spaces yesterday that Matthew popped in, and it was great because one of the guys was like, "Oh, hey, basically just made a feature request on the spot," and Matthew was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I can add that to the list. That's doable." It's great for someone to be that accessible, and I know he's very active in the Telegram group. For people who to make requests, and I think he's very open to providing what people want, and obviously, that's important, and because he could just build it and say, well, take it or leave it. That's how it is. But to be very active in providing specific features that people want, that's great to see.
Yes. So yeah, Matthew is a very talented individual. I like working with him. He has great ideas as well, and very open to a lot of things. And yeah, the main thing is to give what the customers want. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons I was really excited to speak with you today is because, as we mentioned before, you've been with the DigiByte awareness team from early on, near its inception. But you kind of struck me as one of these behind the scene guys. So I was wondering, if you could just tell us a little bit more about some of the things that you've done over the years for the DigiByte awareness team, or just DigiByte in general, and what was your experience with those projects?
So for me, yeah, uh, I wouldn't say behind the scenes as such. I have been involved in getting DigiByte listed in some exchanges, reaching out to different platforms, to get us listed there, forming partnerships. I built my own developer team, built the initial DigiByte awareness team website when we didn't have one. That's how the after the awareness team was formed, I joined them about a month later,
Hmm.
right? And then there were so many things lacking, and I provided a face to by way of a website. and getting that information and everything. That was the initial website. That was my initial project for DigiByte. And then, advising on certain approaches on how to reach out. I also ran the, at one time we had a DigiBat exchange, exchange awareness team within the DigiBat, where we had a few people reaching out to different exchanges, and we had a group for that. That worked, and it's still working. So yeah, a lot of hard work went to went into it. It's not only by me. I probably would have done a small part in it, but then there was Rudy, then there was Laura, Michelle. They all contributed a lot. Even Matthew contributed a lot towards the whole the awareness part of things. From the first, Dean, Ben, they're all, they were all fully into it. And we now have another generation of team members who have kind of taken over from the rest of them, and going forward. And I'm still in the team and working with them, and I'm very proud actually to see everyone working together.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to hear you're still with them, and obviously you provide great value to the team. And yeah, like you said, you listed off some names there, and there's some fantastic, wonderful people involved with the awareness team and just DigiByte in general, because the community really is full of really authentic and genuine individuals who we all come from different backgrounds and different walks of life, but in the end we all want what's best for DigiByte. We want DigiByte to continue to grow, and for the development to continue to innovate and to educate people. And it's great to see, and it's great to hear that a lot of things that people like yourself have worked on, whether it's reaching out to exchanges, getting DigiByte listed, or building the infrastructure for the website. I mean, I'm sure that's no small task, and obviously, like you said, that's the face of the awareness team, because people hear about it, they're like, oh well, let me Google it, or let me just, what's the website, and that's where they go first, and that's what people's first impressions are about many times in DigiByte itself. And so it's really great to hear people like yourself who are willing to volunteer their time to work on projects for groups like the DigiByte awareness team.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy and glad that I was involved in that. I'm still involved in it. I'm very happy, and once again, I'm proud of the whole team that I'm working with.
Yeah, and it's great to see them, still, after all these years. I mean, it's been, I guess it was February, March of 2018. I guess it was launched around springtime-ish.
Yes.
And it just brought a great energy to the community at a time when, this was when, the crash had happened after 2017, and prices were down, and, just the mood in general within the crypto communities was very low. But the energy within DigiByte was very high, large part due to the efforts of the DigiByte awareness team and others who realized, hey, it's time to step up. This is what a decentralized protocol is all about. It's not about, let someone else do the marketing or hire someone else. It's like, well, what are you going to pay them with? That's the thing. Either you raise the money or you do it yourself and you make it happen. And
Right.
so a lot of people within the community have stepped up, whether with the awareness team or other groups, or just on their own as individuals, and they do what they can and they make it happen. And it's one of the things that I think really sets DigiByte, as well as other decentralized and open source projects, apart from some of these others.
True. And also I know that some of us, including myself, we paid out of pocket as well, a lot of things.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, yeah, you go out, you try to, you can fundraise and try to get people to donate. Of course, that takes time too. And a lot of times you're just like, hey, this needs to happen now, and this is what it takes, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. So it's great that people are willing to do that.
Yeah.
So, this has been a great chat, Jen. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us and tell us more about ChangeAngel, the history of it, and your involvement with the DigiByte awareness team and the new features that have just been released and some of the new features that are coming down the road. Are there any topics that we haven't covered yet that you want to speak about before we wrap things up?
No, actually, we covered a lot of things. Going forward, we will be, ChangeAngel will be announcing a lot of things like features, a lot of projects that's coming our way as well. And we also take on some third-party projects as well. Building for other companies. That's pretty much it for.
That's great. Well, we'll certainly be looking forward to that. And if people want to reach out to you or to ChangeAngel, what's the best way for people to get in contact?
The contact form through our website or Twitter, or you can contact us through Twitter as well.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll make sure to put all the links below. I know you guys are active on Telegram as well, and like I said, it's really great what you guys do, what you've done, and it's it's nice to refer people to a site like yourselves. A lot of times when we introduce people to cryptocurrency and they're like, okay, I'm in, where do I begin? It's great to have a place that you can trust, that that it's pretty straightforward and simple and easy and convenient for people to use. And on top of that, you guys are going to give back to the development funds for these these foundations for these open source projects. So thank you for all you do for ChangeAngel and on behalf of DigiByte and all these other open source communities and projects. It's really great what you guys are doing. So I wish you nothing but continued success with all things going forward. And again, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you taking the time to update us on all these things. And I hope to have you back sometime down the road to give us an update on the latest developments. The door is always open. So JIN VISE, thank you so much for joining us on Get Right with DigiByte. And we'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for having me.